In the first verse of Parshat Vayechi, we learn that Jacob spent the last 17 years of his life in Egypt. Baal HaTurim, a biblical commentator, highlights that according to Gematria, the number 17 is equivalent to the numerical value of the word Tov. He claims that this represents that Jacob enjoyed his 17 years spent in Egypt. However, this idea is puzzling. Egypt was a foreign land of immorality, so how could Jacob have enjoyed this? According to the Midrash, Jacob's source of happiness was the yeshiva that he ran in his final 17 years. Jacob understood that his descendants in Egypt would experience tremendous hardship in the coming years, and believed the yeshiva would serve to protect their Jewish identity, as well as act to shield them from the pressures of assimilation. We learn from the Talmud that prior to leaving for Egypt, Jacob sent his son Judah to set up the yeshiva in Goshen, the area that Jacob and his family were to relocate. The decision to choose Judah specifically out of all of his children is puzzling. All 12 of his children were known to be Torah scholars and were certainly capable of establishing the yeshiva. The Midrash tells us that of all the children, Yosef spent the most time learning Torah with Jacob. Therefore, why wouldn't he pick Yosef to establish the yeshiva? The answer to this question may lie in the difference between their personalities. The name Yehudah derives from the word hoda'ah, meaning submission and acknowledgement. The root of his name points to the fact that his personality strength is action, as he acknowledges that God's will goes beyond our simple comprehension. He therefore will always do God's will, even without complex understanding of its reasons, which are beyond comprehension anyways. The name Yosef means to increase, a testament to his distinct intellect, something that increases and develops with time through creative and innovative thinking. The awareness and acknowledgement of Yehudah's submission to God is unchanging and constant. While both a Jewish adult and child acknowledges that they should not eat a cheeseburger, only the adult truly understands why. The aspects of Judaism that Judah and Joseph each represent are both essential in our relationship with God. Not only must we act and perform the mitzvot, but we must also understand the meaning behind them. While both Judah and Joseph certainly embody both traits, Judah emphasized the action, Joseph the intellect. Jacob chose Judah to establish the yeshiva, as he emphasized characteristics that were ideal for the needs of the Jewish people that Jacob perceived at the time. Jacob understood that the Jews would face difficulties and hardships in the future, and such circumstances can easily influence one's intellect. Even a Jew who is well aware of the meaning of the mitzvot he performs, when faced with oppressive living conditions at the hands of the Egyptians, his faith could be shaken. The fundamental principle of acknowledging God's omniscience and simply acting accordingly, however, can endure anything. Jacob understood this and built the yeshiva upon this concept in order to better help the Jewish people in their trying times. We see from this that Jewish educators must not only teach students the meaning behind everything, but they must also focus on simply instilling a sense of blind faith. We might not always understand why we do what God asks of us, but it is this unwavering service that guides us through hardship and dark times. Shabbat Shalom.